Hi guys, I'm Tori Trades and welcome to another TFT interview. This one is going to be completely different. This is stuff that we've never interviewed someone before. This is a different type of trading, a different mindset, even different markets. So we've got a completely new interview. Stay tuned before we get started. Don't forget to hit the bell for notifications, hit the like button, drop a comment, and subscribe to our channel if you're not already. All right, let's get into it.
So I'm gonna have a little bit like 6,300 on the 4th of January payout, so the next year. So
Perfect.
I'm gonna that payout. So basically a little bit about me. I'm currently living in Croatia, and I was living in Toronto for 8.5 years, and I always wanted to become a trader. So basically there was a money show over there, and I went and I was talking a little bit with everyone. So that's how I get in touch with SMB Capital. So basically I enrolled in their education program, DNA trading course. So basically it takes up to 2 years for a trader to become profitable. So in my case, I was trading mostly equities. So it's kind of more institutional approach. So I would like kind of to share on like how it's kind of done, because I think the win percentage is way higher than, for example, trading.
Okay.
So actually there are a couple of things that I, for example, prepared. So usually before the market opens, there are 200 biggest investment companies in the world. So basically what we are doing, we are actually going throughout their portfolios and seeing what they are buying, what they are selling, adding, and so on. So I have like hundreds of those pages and so on. So I'm kind of analyzing those before the market opens, right? So the thing is, I'm looking for something that is kind of extremely beneficial, something that I can use for trading. So in that case, for example, like one of the jewels kind of that I found for trading is, for example, Warren Buffett, Berkshire Hathaway. So if you can see, for example, here, Taiwan Semiconductors, he bought it and he invested over $60 million. So the thing is, when I see something like that, I prefer to know a little bit more about it. So
Absolutely.
I prepare actually a little bit. So for those that don't know nothing about Taiwan Semiconductors, is basically the most important company in the world. So without them, you wouldn't be able to use your phones, your computer, your car. 90% of the chips in the entire world are being produced over there. So the thing is so when you see, for example, this drop in price, the reason why that happened is because investors were afraid that China is going to invade Taiwan. So that's kind of the main reason. So basically, like this is 4-hour chart. I'm a trader that likes to hold positions for a little bit longer. So for example, here, like you can see that when Warren Buffett actually started buying. So the thing is, like professional traders, they have TVs. So for our Security Exchange Commission, we are kind of receiving those informations so that we can actually kind of make our judgment. So basically, you can see that this is the start of Buffett buying. So the thing is, like usually when Buffett starts to buy, other institutions prefer to follow him because he's one of the smartest guys when it comes to institutional trading. And second of all, they will build a factory in Arizona in the United States. So when you take that everything in consideration, and also what it's also important, the probability of China invading Taiwan, because this can drop to zero if the war happens. But the thing is, like, what's very important to talk about is, for example, the response of NATO countries, the United States, Canada, the European Union against what Russia is doing to Ukraine. So the thing is, like they see that actually the whole world is united against like the war and the problem. So the thing is, the China is also kind of calculating and seeing what's happening. So the thing is, I would say just because of those sanctions, the probability is way lower for China to invade Taiwan. So I would say this is one of the looking for trading opportunities on the long side. Now, I was using only VWAP. I don't use indicator stuff like that. I was using it before a couple of years, 5-6 years ago, right? I kind of don't need it. So what I've been looking either buy in this area or wait for a little bit of pullback around 66. And then I would be looking for rejection and actually recovery all the way to this price around 110. So that's one of, for example, good trades. So the thing is also what I wanted to mention is, for example, institutional traders, they're using TradeStation. So we have hundreds of thousands of markets that we can trade. Like every other prop firm, like FTMO, Audacity Capital, and so on, they have like 20, 30 markets. So the thing is, like, FX is fine, but when it comes to institutional trading, it's not that often, mainly because of the percentage that they can have. Because what I'm talking about, some institutions, they can have up to 70% win rate. So I'm talking about months or years and tens of thousands of trades, which is kind of impressive. So the thing is, even from my perspective, trading FX, if you have like 53, 54% chance on turning $100 into 200 or 1,000 into 2,000, depending on your account size, basically it's a lot, having like 53, 54%. So the thing is, I'm kind of mostly used to, winning way more than losing. So that's the reason why I kind of prefer equities. So there are other markets, futures and options. And also, other one example on how to be highly successful, because this is something that other people don't talk about. So that's what I actually wanted to share with you and others. So for example, trades that I wanted to share with you with a high percentage of the win rate is Roku. So it's a
Roku.
company. Yeah, but the thing is, I also love them. But what I realized, so usually also support staff in those institutions, they are reading the news on Bloomberg Terminal, on Benzinga Pro, and so on. So they are analyzing every single news that comes. So for example, this was support, right? So when that support was broken, there was a news that Roku, actually the owner of the Roku, stole technology from the other company. So actually, there was a huge lawsuit, and basically Roku is supposed to pay huge amounts of money and stop providing a lot of services. So when you have a news like that, so basically the company is supposed to go bankrupt, most likely. So the thing is, you are just looking for any way of entering the market. Usually it's rejection from the VWAP. So the thing is, when actually I realized, for example, something like that, and also what's also beneficial working in an institution, for example, is talking with other traders. So for example, some traders don't know that actually institutions can buy, for example, shares around $50 a share and sell it at 45 and still make profit. So the question is how they're actually able to do it, and the answer is options market. So the thing is, what we are looking for, imbalances. So the thing is, like, also let me show you also what we have throughout Security Exchange Commission. For example, so this is about Roku, right? So we can see the date, we can see the name of the owner, we can see amount, how much he's selling. You can see 2.6 million, 2.4. So he's like selling around 60, 70 million his shares to the market. So basically what they are doing first, they will go on the options, and then they bet that actually the price is going to drop. And they are the ones influencing the market to drop because they are planning in future to sell huge amounts of the shares. So the thing is, you have to ask yourself why the board members and the other directors are selling as much as they can. So the thing is, there are some kind of issues with the company. So that's the reason why I want to kind of leave as soon as possible. But when it comes to making money, it's easier to make money when the price is dropping, because when it's dropping, it's going down really fast, as you can know. So the thing is, like, that's what I kind of prefer. So for example, like we have like thousands of pages like that. So basically you can all see like he's selling and selling basically every 2 weeks. So the thing is, like, what a trader should be doing, first of all, you have like that court verdict. So basically that he's caught stealing technology from others, that actually they lost on the court. Other thing, that he's betting huge amounts of money, millions, every time tens of millions on options, the price will crash. So the thing is, every 2 weeks, so you see the price goes down, it goes a little bit higher. So the trader would short here and then take profit here. The price recovers, the trader will short here. Then price recovers a little bit here, short here. Every trade, it's a win trade. So the thing is, like, that's how you can have a huge win rate. Actually, be highly selective about the markets that you're trading. That's one of the most important actual thing that I would suggest to retail trade. And also, there are a couple of things that I would suggest to those people that are kind of starting trading. So first of all, the most important when it comes to education is SMB Capital. I would say they are the best. If you want to learn trading, go with them. Then when it comes to technical trading, it's Al Brooks. You can type in YouTube, like, he's a legend and he wrote a lot of books, and the quality of content that he has is really high. And the third one is institutional trading and portfolio management. Those are actually people that were trading for Goldman, the best traders in the world. So the thing is, I went to a couple of meetings. I didn't have enough time to take their education, but in Toronto, in Sun Life Financials, Raj Malhotra is the part of that institute. Basically, he was giving us lectures about how to short a UVXY, actually the pop-ups. So the thing is, we kind of created a plan because you have a contango effect in the future. So the thing is, the value is always crashing over a longer period of time. So the thing is, it kind of reflects S&P 500. So every time with S&P 500 crashes, the UVXY will go up. So the thing is, like, we created kind of for every event, like throughout the history for the last 60 years, when the market crashes on a certain news. So how much is market supposed to crash? So the thing is that you can kind of like assess when you support to enter a short trades. So this is actually UVXY actually, and people that are kind of paying attention to those lectures, I would say they can create a career very easily in financial industry. So like you can see, like this is very easily tradable on the downside. It takes 3 lectures up to 2 hours each to explain everything that needs to be learned about it. So the thing is, what I would suggest others, and also that's so when it comes to the market, this is just regular market S&P. Also, what I wanted to say. So, for example, like 2 years ago, when or a couple of years ago, when FTMO and other companies started, offering funding for other traders, I didn't consider them like serious companies. And then after a couple of years, I realized they're still sticking around. So they must have something good in whatever they offer. But the thing is, like I kind of opened their platform, and basically like every TFT, Audacity Capital, MMF, and other companies that are providing funds. So basically, they have pretty much the same quotes. So the thing is, like, I'm kind of using TradeStation. Like, for example, let's, compare it to, for example, 8cap. Like, for example, this is S&P 500, right? So we have the spreads around $1 and something plus commission. So the thing is, like, it will be highly beneficial. I'm just suggesting. It's up to you what you're going to do. But I think, if you offer, for example, if you switch brokers, TradeStation, TFT would like have a huge benefit comparing to every other platform. It's unbelievable because let's, for example, compare it to TradeStation. So, for example, also here you can see that basically the difference is like 6 times smaller. And basically, like on TradeStation, I can buy and sell shares, let's say on 1 cent difference. I can buy shares of Microsoft at $240, sell it at $240 and 1 cent, and still make a profit. So that's the reason why scalping. I have a scalping program, and the thing is, it breaks even if the spreads are from 0.4 to 0.5 pips without commission. So the thing is, like, we know that the spreads are way higher. So the thing is, I would kind of maybe also suggest that maybe TFT creates account for scalpers without commission and without spreads calculated. But for example, the profit split would be 70-30 or 60-40. I would go for that right away. So the thing is, like, for example, scalping, like I wasn't successful much in scalping. I just wanted to explain a little bit because, for example, here you can see that, for example, it's only 1 cent difference. This is oil, and this is actually contracts for the banks. So, for example, this is S&P 500. So even though it is S&P 500, but when it comes to banking system, it's, for example, ESH23 with H representing a month. So the thing is, like, there is one skill called reading the tape. So the thing is, what does it mean? So let's say, for example, I'm trading FX, right? And then I'm either long or short on certain position. So I want to see, for example, this is, so like when you have stop loss and take profit, what usually happens, the price drops, it takes stopped out, and then it goes into your favor. So you should kind of ask yourself why that happens. Well, it's kind of very understandable because institutions have ability to see your position. So the thing is, like, literally, this is it. So the thing is, they're adjusting on how to enter and exit the market. So, for example, the market is dropping. This is S&P 500. Maybe you would enter short here, right, on the a little bit push up, and then if you're looking, let's say, to exit with a profit. So you see, for example, 100, 110 contracts. But the thing is, market cannot drop until it's consumed, right? So the thing is, if you are placing a take profit, you want to place a take profit in front of those bigger contract offers. The same when it comes to the stop loss, it's opposite. You want to place on the other side of those kind of big offers, because actually, like scalpers are doing, they have a software, so they are kind of looking for the markets, especially equities, because in certain situations when you are trading companies, right, you might have like 2,000 or 3,000 shares on each cent, right, or on average, and then you can find out that certain institutions is on one level has like 300,000 or 400,000 shares. So what does that mean? It means that when the price approaches, it cannot go beneath it until the market consumes all that offer. So basically, the trader would buy it's like playing casino, but with the edge. So when you buy it, and then, for example, you have a take profit 10 cents above and stop loss 10 cents beneath, you might have around 60% win rate, just because you're kind of understanding the positioning of institutions in every market. So that's what I'm kind of mentioning. TradeStation offers hundreds of thousands of markets, and like, we are doing effort. Like I was reading 8Ks, 10Ks, 13X filings, 60 pages every single day, because before the meeting, every trader, everyone who works in the company needs to share certain information with others, something that they can use in order to make money that day, right? So the thing is, like, that's why it's so beneficial when you have a certain idea and you kind of did investigation that some other people also did some kind of investigation, but from other sources. So the thing is, like, you want other people to tell you, listen, don't take that trade because those and those reasons, or take it because of those, right? So the thing is, like, you want to be highly selective. So that's how I am taking around maybe 1 or 2 trades a day. I'm a couple of days, sometimes weeks, maybe even months in case of the oil. So the thing is, like, I want to be as much selective as possible. So that's, for example, what I was a little bit doing, for example, when it comes to my accounts and with institutional trading. When it comes to this is, for example, TFT. So my plan, for example, with next year, I won't be trading this year. So let's go daily. Okay. So for example, if you look Canadian dollar against the Swiss franc, so this is the last 5 years. So what it's very important about Canadian dollar, what I like to mention is the high interest rate. I believe it's 4.25. So the thing is, like, depending on the position that you hold, you might be getting $40, $60 every single day for holding a position, which is a really good reason to try to find the strategies for longer periods of time. So, like, depending on account size that you're trading, you might be getting $20,000, $25,000 on swaps a year. So the thing is, like, this pair is kind of perfect for this strategy, mainly because it's not volatile, for example, as cable, the Japanese yen, and other markets. So the thing is, like, for example, here we can see that actually support level, like, actually for 3 years, what was around 0.71500. So, and then we had a descending triangle, and the so broken. So the thing is, and then the market recovered, and then we also had a support and then resistance. Now the price kind of crashed a lot on Canadian dollar. So the thing is, when it comes to the plan of trading it, like from my perspective, so let's put it on, for example, 4-hour chart. So this is 4-hour chart. So we can see 1, 2, 3 rejections. So those 3 rejections, it's triple bottom. So, like, this is kind of a good setup to go long, right? So the thing is, like, okay, I can place a stop loss and go for 3-to-1 win rate or 5-to-1 or more. But the thing is, if the price goes against me, I wouldn't have. Maybe I would have a stop loss around 0.5. But even though if I lose, I would lose, let's say, 3 or 4% maximum. Even though I would add 1 or 2 times on the losing, right? So imagine, for example, on daily chart, right? So we said, let's say if you long here, you have a win. If you're long here, you have a win. If you're long here, you have a losing trade, right? You will have a stop loss. But for example, if you bought it here, you would get up with this trade making profit and this on break even. So then, and when the market pushes up, this is also an area to buy. So buy it here, sell it here, buy here, sell it here. So the thing is, I will buy it here, and so this will support. Now it should act as resistance in the future. So I'll be looking around 0.71300 for a selling area. And the thing is, like, if the price continues to fall, maybe I would look to add around 0.63, something like that, maybe 0.62. So I will have a stop loss around 0.5. So it depends on account size and how important that account is. So you might be trading millions, right? So, like, in that situation, you're not able to blow up your account, right? So some institutions that have that rule. So, like, for example, I had one occasion when I was $39,000 in drawdown, and I didn't get my paycheck for over 3 months because for only way, I mean, everyone is paid except the traders, right? So you have to, delete the drawdown that you have, go into the plus and make a profit split with the company. So that's how it goes. And also I wanted to talk a little bit, like, for example, Moderna. as I mentioned, I had a drawdown $39,000. So the thing is why it's highly beneficial to have institution by your side. So because then you sit down with them and talk and create the plan that actually you're going to recover from situation that you're currently in. Because every single month there are 20 to 30% of the traders with the institutions that will create some losses. So the institution has to find a way for them to go into the plus. They start making money overall. So the thing is, when it comes to me and why most of the people are getting wrong everything when it comes to investing. So I'm going to talk, for example, about Moderna. So the thing is, what happened, there was a first COVID case in the United States. So what institutions are doing, they brought 10, 15 analysts into the room. And so every time they ask a question, so this is a current situation in the world, and who is benefiting it out of the most, or who has most of the problems. So at that time, the assumption was that the companies that are able to create vaccine should benefit the most. So the thing is, Moderna was a small company, around 1,000, 1,500 people working. So the thing is, when it comes to the United States and Canada, we were those analysts, they were supposed to find the best solution, right? So the thing is, why, for example, they told me to, buy every pullback on Moderna. Well, basically, Moderna, so the scientists from Pfizer, they moved to Moderna. And also, they received a lot of money from the government. They had technology, and they had the committee, the whole board members. They decided they're going to invest effort and the money and resources into hoping to find a vaccine, right? So the thing is, the price of Moderna was around $8 to $10 a share. So I was buying every pullback, and investment institutions that are really good investing or trading, they were also building their position. And then after 1 year, I was with a friend, Barnabas, he's a lawyer in Toronto. So we went on a dinner, and actually he was reading newspapers, and Canada bought 700 vaccines from Moderna. So he said, oh my God, they're going to be saving entire world. They're going to be making so much money. I have to buy the shares of Moderna. And of course, he lose leverage, which is never a smart kind of idea. So the thing is, the price was around $180 a share, and it immediately dropped down. So the thing is, why it happened? Well, first of all, you have to understand everything, because institutions were able to find out that that's a good investment opportunity a year ago. So right now, when you have media coverage and a lot of people seeing it, so basically now institutions, they need a volume to leave their position. So they're selling into whoever who's willing to buy. So that's what I'm saying. Why it's so important. And also, for example, I can say a lot of people, for example, I noticed FTMO, they have psychologists. I was also dealing with the psychologists, and I just noticed on how powerful they are, which means they know me better than I don't know myself, better than my mother even knows who I am. So the thing is, what I was surprised, because I was going throughout some trades of the company, right? And the thing is, I noticed, Theranos and Nikola, Theranos was the biggest company. The President Bush invited the lady into White House. He thought that she's next Bill Gates or something, right? But the thing is, those institutions were placing a short trade. So the thing is, how the hell actually they were able to know that it's fraud, that whole business is based on fraud. So the thing is, it's psychology. So the thing is, I talked a little bit about them, just to find out. I mean, they're professionals, but the thing is, I prefer to listen to them, and just because, they have really advices that are kind of really powerful. So they are helping a lot to the traders. So the thing is, for example, how they notice it, because every time when there are interviews, for example, let's say I ask you what's your name. If you tell me the truth, right, then you're going to tell me right away. But the thing is, if you have a question and you need to think about the answer, if you want to lie me, right, you need to think about what's the most appropriate lie, so that I don't figure out that you're lying, right? So the thing is, it's a human kind of trick. It's not trick, it's tick, right? So the thing is, what most of the people will do, they will look in the upper corner. It's like a sign when the human brain is thinking. So you have to ask yourself why someone is thinking, because if you're genuine, if you have you can provide information right away, what's the reason for your thinking? So basically, they are gathering small amounts of details that ordinary people are not able to see and understand together, and that's how actually they're able to kind of find the truth, right? So the thing is also what I wanted to share, what's kind of important. Let me see. Oh, okay. We can talk about Russian ruble as well. That's also important. So, for example, let's talk about this trade. This is also that for the entire world except the institution. So, this is Digital World Acquisition Corporation. For those that don't know about this company, it's basically Donald Trump. Actually, he's the one who kind of opened it, right? And actually went public on New York Stock Exchange with that company. So the thing is, like, why it's so important to do research about every company, because we realized that the value of that company is only $56,000. So the thing is, the Trump put in hundreds of millions of dollars in that company. So the thing is, Trump, when it comes to psychologists, if you go throughout the entire history of who he is and everything he did, he was making money by taking advantage of people not being so smart. Let's put it that way, right? So the thing is, what he did, he kind of created a company. He put hundreds of millions of dollars when the price was around $10 a share. And then a couple of days later, he went on Bloomberg and he started talking that he's going to create a platform, social truth, something like that. And so because he was banned on Twitter, on Facebook, so that like it's pretty amazing investment, right? So the thing is, the ordinary people, they are supposed to understand, is it really a good investment or not? So the thing is, what happened within 24 hours, the price moved from $10 to $180. And then, for example, institutions, they were shorting. So like dumb people that believe in Trump, right? They're the ones buying. And then actually what happened? The market halted because the Trump decided to sell his entire shares. So the thing is, there were no like buyers and sellers. He took everything that he was able to. And then the market suddenly crashed and never recovered. So the thing is, that's one of the examples why it's so important to have psychologists in the trading team when it comes to serious companies. So I returned here in Croatia and I realized when it comes to finances, there's not even one institution that is remotely close to institutions that I had the privilege to work while I was in Toronto.
Okay.
So that's a little bit, for example, about that. Then, for example, Russian ruble. Let's talk about that since it's very interesting. Also, I'm going to take that trade. I'm not sure if you have a Russian ruble. We'll see. This is when the war started. So the thing is, like, I had like over 18 winning trades, and I was long basically on commodities that were related to the conflict. So corn, nickel, palladium, oil, gas, everything I was long. And I actually made money on all of those trades except shorting Russian ruble. So the thing is, like, that's the reason why it's so important to kind of, have a smart people around you. So I was shorting here and I was significantly in the profit. That trade looked perfectly great. And then I had a stop loss around this area, above this high. And then it hit my stop loss, actually created low loss for me. So let's try to understand actually what happened, right? The Russian ruble, was losing value because of the war and sanctions and everything. And then the President Putin, he ordered the lady that's running the Russian bank to come to his office and actually to talk about what they can do to make Russian ruble stronger. So the thing is, he made some decisions, for example, that foreign companies throughout the world, that they're going to be buying whatever they're buying, like oil, from Russia, that they have to pay in Russian ruble. So there is a huge demand for Russian ruble. So that's artificially kind of the price of Russian ruble, being stronger. So the thing is, like, even though right now the sanctions, they need time to take an effect. So you can see the support level has been broken. I'm expecting for the price within a year to drop to at least 0.007 against American. So that's what I also am considering to take a trade on when it comes to FX. And also what I wanted to prepare. So I'm thinking kind of a lot about all the markets. So this is, for example, with the funded trader. This is, for example, euro against Turkish Lira. So this is a daily chart. As I mentioned, I am a trader who prefers to take a longer position. If you notice, Turkish Lira was like very close to euro. It lost around 80% of its value. Now, I'm not an expert about the Turkey and about its currency, so I don't know what actually happened there and why the Turkish Lira lost so much. But the thing is, what's important is that you have to ask yourself which companies and countries are going to benefit the most out of the war from Ukraine and Russia. And the answer is Turkey. So why? Because Europe, they need a replacement for everything that has been coming throughout Russia, right? So the thing is, they are doing pipelines and everything to import everything that's needed from Saudi Arabia. Everything is going to go throughout Turkey into Europe. So the thing is, it might take a couple of years for the strength of the lira to show up. But the thing is, like, from not technical, but when you take into consideration all the fundamentals, basically I can see the lira pushing against euro maybe 15, 14 within maybe a year or two. So the thing is also like also Turkish Lira has a really high interest rate, so swaps payment every single day is also very interesting for longer term traders that can be used. So that's kind of my thinking, what I'm going to be doing with the funding trader next year. So I kind of took a break because of the holidays, and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, New Year to you. So yeah, that's a little bit about my thinking. And if you have any questions, please go on.
Okay, this was excellent. This was insightful, and to be honest, I haven't had an interview like this one before. So we've never talked about equities in any of my interviews, which is super amazing. I also haven't seen anyone trading on TradeStation before. Also, another very cool note. And I don't think I've had an interview with anybody that trades as long term as you do. So these are all very new things that we haven't had interviews for yet. So I mean, to kind of summarize everything, can you kind of break down for me just like your normal day? So let's say, since you're holding positions, long term, you're not necessarily getting in and getting out, within the day. Maybe sometimes you are, but kind of walk me through what your day looks like as a day trader. What time are you waking up?
Yeah, so usually when you're working for an institution, you would wake up around 3 a.m. So they would give you a certain task that you're supposed to do. So it depends on what they give you. Either you're reading financial statements about the companies that you're going to be trading. So 8K, 10K, 13 filing, stuff like that. So actually also what I noticed, I want to understand as many details as possible. So that's kind of every time you have a question, like what's the new in the world? Who is benefiting out of it the most? That's the reason why I mentioned Taiwan semiconductors at the beginning, right? So the thing is, you need to find the best trading opportunities of the day. So the thing is, like also professional traders, they are kind of monitoring news on Benzinga Pro or Bloomberg Terminal. So the thing is, like also what retail traders, I would say a lot of prop firms online, I would say it's mostly retail trading. So institution trading is a lot different because they have a support staff. And like I'm going to tell you something that, for example, retail traders, there's no way that they know. For example, when you're reading the news on Bloomberg Terminal, around 99% of them are true, but around 40% of the news are misleading. So the thing is, like, that's what does it mean to have a misleading news? So let's assume you have, for example, PHUN, another company that, for example, I was trading. There's some, like let's say like this: you have a board members that been in that business for 15, 20 years, and they want to sell the company for the biggest price that they can. So the thing is, they cannot lie. So let's say the most common like trick that they use, they're gonna, for example, create a pattern, right, and register it. So basically, that's the truth, right? And then they're gonna make a press conference and say we have a technology that actually is going to, make us, better than our competition. So the thing is, like, it's gonna look nice, but in fact, when you analyze it, they maybe had tens or hundreds of, like projects like those, and basically none of them had any value. So the thing is, like, professional traders, they know how to fight it. So the thing is, like, if the price is going up, you're supposed to buy as a trader. But the thing is, like, like for someone who's amateur, who doesn't know it, professionally, like he has like 1-to-1 ratio. So the thing is, like, even though the price is going up due to those, for example, like, like occasions in the news. So the thing is, you have like 50% of the price reaching your take profit or taking a stop loss. So the thing is, like, professional, like for example, SMB Capital, what they are teaching developing traders in those situations to have 3-to-1 risk reward or 5-to-1, because if you have 5-to-1, and if you win 30% of the cases, overall, you're going to be making money, right? So the thing is, and also that's kind of level one. But when you have a support staff, right? So the thing is, when there is a certain news and the price is bumping, so the thing is that you have someone by your side telling you, listen, this is, someone who has integrity, like for example, like Warren Buffett, so you can rely on those news to be true, right? And, like you have to understand the news. That's the reason why, people are they take the name of the company, psychologists, they are creating psychological profiles and stuff like that. So basically, when they take the company, basically they take the news from the last couple of years about every single company, and then they see the impact of the news. So when the news, for example, was positive, did it turn out that the news wasn't as powerful as it seemed at the beginning, which is kind of very common cause. So that's what I'm saying. Like what institutions, the difference between someone who's really successful in trading and comes to institutions and average traders are a lot of details that professionals pay attention to, and ordinary traders, they just don't see it and or just don't pay attention. So there's a lot of work that needs to be done before the market opens, and if it's not done, the win percentage, it's going down significantly. So that's my point of view.
Yeah, fair enough. That's great. Excellent. Okay, very cool. Then I would say to end it off, just let everyone know what your payout amount was, and then just a super quick overview of what you think about TFT. Oh, sorry, one more time. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna have like 6,500. So actually, you and FTMO are the first companies that I joined. And the thing is, like, first of all, the reason why I joined TFT, integrity. Like, I'm kind of Warren Buffett guy. Like, I kind of pay attention to that. So the thing is, when it comes to making a decision on which prop company I'm going to, start trading, first of all, I was, I was talking a lot on chat, and then I actually, connected to Discord. So the thing is, like, let's say, I would say there are maybe 40 companies online, prop trading, that are offering funds. I am sure, trust me, maybe 2 years from now, you're going to notice that 30% of them are going to be scams and frauds. So the thing is, you have to ask yourself which companies are genuine. So the thing is, like, when you say, for example, I have Discord with TFT with over 50,000 people, and all those people are kind of communicated openly. Even the CEO is there. Then you're not preventing, if someone, for example, didn't receive a payout, he would, start talking anywhere he can. So the thing is, the company would need, to shut him up. So the thing is, a lot of companies, like through Forex funds, I noticed, for example, that they kind of turned off their discount channel. So like, I will never be with the company. So it's like just the way of thinking. If you cannot trust it, just walk away as fast as possible.
Okay, fair. Awesome. This was incredible. Thank you so much for taking the time today. This is going to be a great interview because no one has had this type of insight. No one has seen this type of trading with the news. I mean, with equities. I mean, you've got a little bit of everything in here. So this is going to be incredibly insightful.
Yeah, no, it's like usually education for traders at least 2 years, and it's really hard. People think trading is easy. No, it's not. Like, you really have to put. I was doing a lot of jobs. I would say trading is the hardest way to make a living.
Yeah.
I mean, every single job, you do what you're supposed to, then you get paid. Trading, you can do the best decisions that you can, and still you can lose. And then
right.
you lose money. Then you have psychological issues because you have bills to pay. And also, what I wanted to say. A lot of people, when they're 30 years old and a little bit older, when they have families and financial obligations and mortgages on the house, like, for example, Samuel Leach, I was paying, attention to his YouTube videos as well. But I would notice those companies are kind of okay, they have the edge, but the people, they don't stay around because they need security, right? They need payment every 2 weeks or every month, right? So the thing is, like institutional traders, they are trading millions of dollars. So, percentage is way lower than, for example, with the TF. So like, also, like what I noticed, you have 50,000 people on Discord. So why not, for example, what support staff of those institutions are doing it? Why some people, wouldn't be doing it to help other traders? Because it's common interest to increase the, the percentage of the win rate of everyone who's involved with the company, right? So the thing is, that's just my thinking. But, like a lot of people, they need to be educated. As I mentioned, you cannot hire just any psychologist. You need people with PhDs, MBAs, and, institutions, they are paying them for $600,000 a year. So the thing is, the reason you can find someone who's also have his education, but the knowledge that he has, it won't be valuable by trading financial market.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Thank you so much for taking the time to give this information. I mean, this was incredibly insightful. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this interview. If you did, it greatly helps our engagement if you hit the like button, if you drop a comment, go ahead and share the video, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. And if you haven't hit the bell yet for notifications, go ahead and do so now so that you get a notification every single time we post a video, whether that's an interview, a TikTok reaction video, or a frequently asked question video, something that you maybe didn't know about TFT that you do now. So don't forget to hit that notification bell, and thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time.